Hello class. Our today's topic is From Trade to Territory, Class 8th History, Essay 1, Chapter number 2. The subtitle of the chapter is The Company Establishes Power. As the heading only says that how come the companies coming from the foreign areas, especially from the European territories, entered into our nation as trading bodies for the sole purpose of buying cheap and selling dear. They started establishing themselves in our territory, and very soon, they started interfering with the administration, the revenue, the society, the politics, that is each and every domestic area. And slowly and gradually, they attained power of the whole territory. So the title says From Trade to Territory. In the previous class, you all studied the history till the end of the Mughal Empire, and the last popular Mughal Empire was Aurangzeb. As soon as Aurangzeb started losing his power, the traders, the merchants who were already gaining strength because of the ruler's weak condition, started increasing their influence in the area. And as a result of this, not only the small subedars or the small zamindars, but the British trading authorities also started expanding their area of influence and spreading the rule over a larger area of territory. As we all know that the Mughal Empire Aurangzeb died in the year 1707, and this was the condition which paved way for the foreign as well as the native rulers to penetrate into the Indian territory and spread their rule. In the year 1600, the East India Company of Britain acquired a charter from the Queen to trade in the East. A charter is a royal order giving them the exclusive rights to trade in a particular area. And as soon as they acquired the charter in their hand, the East India Company was the only British company that could trade in India from Britain. The primary motive of trading was to buy cotton, silk, spices, etc. like products at very cheap prices and then sell them out in different areas at high prices. This gave them a huge amount of profits, and by attaining the right to trade in an area and abolishing their competition from Britain, the East India Company started taking a lot of advantage of their beneficial condition. Although the charter gave them the right from England to be the only company to trade, but the rest of the Europe was not under any such obligation. So the countries like Portugal, France, Denmark, Dutch, they were also a very tough competition in the same area of trade. And with the increase in the competition from the foreign countries, a mayhem, a very tough competition was faced by each and every country. Everyone wanted to acquire the new market areas, everyone wanted to buy the product at the cheapest price, and everyone wanted to make as much profit as possible from their trading activities. This rise of competition sometimes also got rough, and to eliminate the rivals from the competition, a lot of activities were practiced by different nations. For example, they used to sink the ships of the other country. They would hire pirates or looters who would plunder their ships. They used to blockade their route, and such kind of activities were practiced. It is an interesting fact to know that although we find that the Britishers were the most powerful who acquired power over the Indian territory, but they were not the first to arrive in our area. In fact, they were the last ones. So the first one to reach the Indian areas were the Portuguese. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached India and discovering the sea route, which was later followed by the Dutch and then the French traders. The Britishers were the last to arrive in this area. Because all of them were basically engaged in trading activities, they used to have their factories, which were the working areas where all the business was conducted very close by locations. And for protection of their factories, they were compelled to fortify their area, to make high walls around their factories, and also to keep arms with them so that in case of an attack from any foreign company, they could protect themselves. This later on led to a very strong position of these companies into the areas where they were located. And in the next section, we'll see how this increasing influence of foreign companies into the domestic territories was not so healthily accepted by the native rulers. In the next section of this lecture, we'll begin with the establishment of the East India Company in Bengal and how they started their influence in the area, which later on led to great battles like Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar.